Hi guys, welcome to Manhood Explained. My name is Camille and today is 26th of July 2020 and welcome to video number 212. Today I want to talk about change. And I don't want to talk about, change which is enforced on you, like, I don't know, maybe you lost your home gambling and you have to move out with your family, you got evicted, or I don't know, economy failed and you've got to make some changes. I'm talking about some change which is much more hidden, much more, kind of happening under the table that you don't really aware of, which interestingly might have so much more impact on your relationship comparison to like a normal life. So let's start from the beginning. The change is coming, and it's coming to get you. And if you don't know what change I'm talking about, I want you to kind of think about, there is supposedly a scientific kind of conclusion out of one of the projects that are scientific exercise or that they did basically, that every 7 years, every cell in your body, experiment, that was the word I was looking for, that every 7 years, every cell in your body basically is replaced by a new one. If that's true, I don't really know, but I would say that every 7 years, at least from my experience, something changed in our life. And I can see so many other people talking about it, but it's just shows up from time to time in the conversations, but I never really heard anyone really said it straight and kind of explained it to me. So, well, we've got to learn the hard way. It almost cost us our relationship. But not to really going into details, you've got to understand that, even from a kind of common sense standpoint, it is logical that if you're doing something for X amount of years, you're gonna get bored. Or you're gonna get to the point that you feel that you need change, that you need something to be different. We need, as human beings, we need things to change. We need some variety. So for some amount of time, it's great to be stable, to have a home or work here and there. Everything goes well, and then you need to change something. And in our case, it was almost always 7 years. But many times now, when our attention span is much shorter, many times it happened even more often. And it's not surprising that you get bored with some stuff and you change. But the one thing that you will change, you will be a different person. And maybe you'll say, people don't change. I don't know about that. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But some variables in your life will change that will force you or push you toward making different decisions and getting different outcomes. Because maybe as I did, you were born in Christian family, and maybe you were one of these people who never swear, never used a bad word. But then some years passed and you change your decision about this or that, and then you swear like a sailor. Or maybe the other way around. Maybe you were the bad boy all the time, and then at the end of your life, or after some time passed, you basically just you found God, and now you're a completely changed person. Did you change? According to this rule, no, you didn't. But there was something happening in your life that you now decided to act differently. So whether you like it or not, you will change. And there's so many things that can push you towards this, that believing that you will not change or will not decide to change, for me, it's complete blindness. So first of all, change is coming. But second, I want you to understand, when you put it in the context of relationship, it might be really interesting from one point of view, but very dangerous from the other one. Because look what happens. Every change is preceded by you feeling some kind of discomfort. And it happens with everything. And then when the discomfort comes, your agitation rises, you just feel bad. Maybe you come home and you feel that it's starting to make you, I don't know, something is wrong. And after some time, if you not deal with this, You're gonna get to the point that you feel enraged every time you even think about going home. And then you've got to understand that if you don't see that this is a sign of change which is coming, then you're gonna start blame everybody else, and first and foremost, you're gonna start to blame the person that you're with. And that's why change, because we don't talk about it, is one of the, at least from my perspective, it might be one of the most undiagnosed reasons of our relationship failing. I'm talking about those long the relationship that takes, they're much long term. It takes some years to be with each other, and then out of no reason you start to fight, and then everything crumbles, and you ask yourself after a few months after being split, what just happened? And you see, this is many times that what happens. You feel something is wrong, you start to blame the other person, you start to argue just because you feel bad, or she feels bad, and you end up splitting or destroying your relationship completely. So first of all, change is coming. Second, you've got to be able to spot it. You've got to understand that this feeling of discomfort, it might be a time for change. It might be the point that you get and say, I would like to make some changes. Maybe for the last X amount of years we were sitting at home, watching TV all the time, but now I start to feel that I want to travel the world. But the problem is, and which is the same time it's a solution, we don't talk about it. And this is crucial because, again, I talked about it yesterday as well. If you don't have this ability to openly be able to talk about and say, listen, I feel something is wrong, help me to find what's wrong and find a solution, you'll see that you'll start to destroy a relationship, because you start to feel that it's a reason that, that the reason that you feel bad is the person that you're with. They can do something small, something dumb, something not important, which enrage you, and you're going to blame, because it'll confirm this whole thing that you already thought, that it's their fault. That's why you need to learn how to talk to each other. And the moment it comes to sit down and find a way, what's the problem, and then find a solution to it. And there are two things I want you to figure out. First of all, what is your role in all this as a man? And we need to understand that we are kind of designed to deal with this kind of deals. Because first of all, men are, we are visionary. We see much farther in the distance in time that our ladies do. And second, we don't feel so much emotions. We do feel, and it hurts, and we feel a lot of them, but there's no comparison to what they feel. So that's why I want you to be able to do two things as a guy. First of all, if you feel discomfort, be able to talk to her. Ask her, listen, I feel that something is wrong. Help me to figure out what it is, and let's find a solution what to do with this. Or second, if she's having this feeling of discomfort, she starts to fear or act strange, ask her what's going on. After first dramatic lesson that we learned from this, I basically started every few weeks ask her, are you happy? Is everything fine? How do you is there anything you want me to change, you want me to do? And it's not like I'm trying to make her happy. No, it's my privilege to make her happy. Because many of you struggle that I don't know what to do to make her happy. Have you ever asked her? And I find it perfect solution, because I kind of push her towards really naming the thing. What's going on? How can I help you? What can we do? And that's why it's so much easier to kind of spot the moment, because if you start to see that she's like struggling with something, and that it's not just that some feeling, something that she'll be able to deal with right away, then you start to see, okay, maybe it's another time. How many years passed? How much time passed? And then you'll be able to say, okay, so let's go to the bottom of that. What's the problem? And then what is the solution? And if you learn to play this game as a guy, you will see that you'll be able to kind of protect yourself and find the moments that you need change, and then you'll be able to take care of her. Because I want you to understand that if you learn to play this right, amazing thing will happen. First of all, if you spot it, if you sit down and start to talk about it, the first important moment is to get to the bottom, to understand what is really the problem, to get a clarity. What are you struggling with? Because if you find it, then you'll understand that, okay, so what do we do about it? When you change, what do you want? Do you want to change your work? Or maybe you want to move, maybe you want a child, maybe you want to travel the world. World is, we can do whatever we want. Obviously to some degree, right? But it's like, what do we want to do with this? And if you look at from a positive standpoint, you will start to see that the clarity will kind of open you up and say, wow, we have so many possibilities. It hurts us, it makes us angry that we're here still. So it'll push us and kind of give us courage to reach for things that maybe we would even, talk about a few months ago. But now we're ready. And then the moment you're going to cross that bridge of making, planning, making decision, and basically doing what you felt, interesting thing will happen. The person that had this discomfort, they'll start to feel free. Finally, I dealt with this strange emotion that I felt for so many months. And then the other person will start to feel, wow, there's no more pressure, no more anxiety at home. So it's awesome. Let's just enjoy what happened. And then you start to see that this whole thing that started with this strange feeling will end up in an amazing experience. Just because you find the root cause, you find a solution, you kind of watch, what do we want to do with this? And you went for it. So this is what I want you to take from this video. If you don't know that change is coming, if you don't know how to spot it, how to prepare yourself, how to spot it, then it will basically, it may completely decimate your relationship. It's gonna murder every ounce of happiness that you had there, because it can be that intense. So if you don't want it to blow up in your face, you'll have to be able to spot it, sit down, find what's the root cause, and then open yourself for the solution and just cross that bridge. Because if you'll do that, bro, you're gonna rock the world. So think about it and do something about it. Because the best way to play it right is to embrace the change and enjoy the ride. If you like this video, like, share, comment. If you didn't, tell me what's your point of view, what is your experience. Just tell me, how do you see this whole subject? And if there's anything you want me to talk about, give me a shout. I'll be glad to do it for you. And that being said, as always, see you tomorrow.